This video will provide a description and overview of the procedures that we'll use to cover text materials, to answer questions based on text materials, and to post those answers to the Blackboard discussion area in a way that's available to the entire class. So we start out with a syllabus, and note that the materials and activities we're talking about now are related to the objectives of developing clear understandings of marketing strategies and tactics in e-business operations. The sort of the theoretical or operational background of the course, and this is the structure in which we're going to be pursuing the various projects that we do to kind of operationalize some of those activities and give you the capability of achieving some of these internet marketing objectives within the context of the projects and in your own work schedule and professional career. So let's take a look then at the schedule, and we will walk through the process of covering a chapter and the related material from the textbook and what we do on a weekly basis with those materials. I will send you each week a checklist of the chapters and topics and activities that we have in that week, identifying when we cover which chapters and when the postings are due. The rule of thumb that we'll follow is that if we cover a chapter on one day, that is, notice that we have on August 25th the Internet Marketing Enters Mainstream chapter, chapter 1, then that's going to be due in 1 week's time. So the postings on this will be due on Tuesday, 1 September at 4:30. So we're reading the chapter, the chapter 1 in the textbook, and our responsibilities are captured in a second web page within the site. This is the text exercises descriptive sheet, and so where we have all of these are accumulated here together for each of the chapters that we're going to be covering. So notice that in the first chapter, and these teams haven't been formed yet, but they're the ones that we will probably be working with. Every team answers all the questions. Notice that there are two types of materials available here. There's a set of terms, and then there are questions. Let me make clear what your responsibilities are. When you make postings to the discussion board, you address only the questions. Your only job is to answer these questions. You should answer them in a context of trying to pull material from the text and interrelate it to the concepts to each other, and also in many cases to websites that you will be describing or analyzing as part of the process. These are to help you prepare for essay questions that are going to be on the examinations. Now, those essay questions are going to ask you to write about a 1.5 to 2 page essay. Those essay questions are going to ask you to write about a 1 to 2 page essay on the questions that you get, and many of the questions on the exam will combine 2 or more questions from the chapters that we're doing now. So let that be kind of a guide. That roughly between each question ought to be roughly 3/4 of a page in length, as you try and create material that's going to help you prepare for the exam and help your classmates do the same thing. There are also a set of terms in each chapter. Now, the terms are extracted from the terms that are listed in your text at the end of each of the chapters that are there. You are not required to define these terms in your posting. However, when you review, you should make sure you know what they mean and how they fit into the topic of that particular chapter, because many of the multiple choice questions on the exam that are not covered by the essay questions will be from this list of terms. So now everyone in the class has responsibility for answering the questions to chapter 1. Where do you answer those? Well, here's the way you proceed. Back in Blackboard, if you wish to collaborate on the answers to the questions, you use your team area. I'll take the role of the Lions team. And in the group discussion board, I can begin a thread in which I as an individual post my answers to the questions and compare those with those of my teammates. And so this forum is available to try and synthesize team answers to the questions. Now, as we go along, you'll see that your team is required to post answers to various chapters, but you are not required to collaborate in this fashion. I am not going to follow you to this extent. So you can decide how you want to do this. If you as a team wish to collaborate all the answers, I would welcome that. If you prefer instead to assign individuals on your team to do individual postings on individual questions on particular chapters that are assigned to you, that's fine as well. I understand that you are busy, that many of you have jobs, that those of you who don't are doing a lot on campus, and that it might be difficult to collaboratively address every question on every chapter. So you guys organize that however you want. But let's assume for the moment that you've used the discussion board to synthesize an answer to the question. And once you do that, it's now time to post your answers to the team discussion board, to the course discussion board, where everyone can have access to it. And that's here. So here's chapter 1. And all I do now is reply to this. I put in the subject line that I'm answering this for the Lions. And I do my answers. Now, the best way to do this is to write these answers in Word and then cut and paste them into the discussion boards, because it is possible to lose content in the in Blackboard discussion boards very easily. So as you'll see, as we go along, there'll be a set of answers to each of the questions that are in form of postings from the teams that were responsible to do that. So as the course develops, there will be, and we get to the midterm examination, you'll have a good deal of material to review for those examinations that will be directly tied to the essay questions that you're going to get on those exams. So that ends this overview of the way we're going to be covering text material in this class.